Namaste, everyone, and welcome to Anchor to Light. So, this is the part 2. And before we start, let's ask for a blessing, shall we? To the Divine Supreme One, Divine Father, Mother, to all the spiritual elders, holy masters, to all the saints of all traditions, archangels, holy angels, and spiritual helpers. To my teacher, Master Chokusui, Mahaguji Mailing, we humbly ask for divine light, divine love. Thank you for your compassion, purifying light, and soothing, healing energy. We thank you in full faith, and so it is. Okay. So today, we just want to share with you the universality of these teachings. And I was doing my research and my meditation on the talk I'm going to give next week in Bhutan. A lot of you are joining us for the Happiness Tour and the Buddhist Wesak Festival meditation. And it's on the Vajraguru mantra. And the first three words are Om Ahum. Okay, Om Ahum, or in Tibetan, Om Ahung. And it's interesting that if you study the Zoroastrian tradition, what's it got to do with it? Oh, we'll connect it together. In the Zoroastrian tradition, basically was a religion in ancient Persia. The great teacher taught of practicing good thoughts, good words, and good actions. Okay? And if you remember, in the Eightfold Path, the Buddha taught, after right viewpoint, after seeing things clearly, we have to practice right thoughts, right speech, right action. And in the mantra, Om Ahung, Vajraguru Padma Siddhi Hung, the first three syllables, Om Ahung, can be interpreted at many levels of truth. At the layman's level of truth is purifying the body, that's Om. Ah is purifying the speech, and Hung or Hum is purifying the mind. And it's interesting when you study these deeper teachings, you get to see that the teachings are given to people at their level of awakening and understanding. But at the core of it, is actually quite simple. When there's a strong spiritual connection, there's a sense of oneness with God and oneness with all, then what comes out of it is immediately right viewpoint. Make sense? So let's do this again. If you remember the Eightfold Path, the first of the Eightfold Path is the most important, it's right viewpoint. Right viewpoint means you see things clearly, you have the right perspective. And the right perspective is you realize that you're not the body, you're not the emotion, not the thoughts. You are a spiritual being occupying physical, emotional, mental instruments or shells, garments, whatever word you want to use to move around the earthly life. That is right viewpoint. The most important part. If you joined us for the 7-day purification or the teachings on the Wesak week before, we keep emphasizing right viewpoint is the most important part. If you don't have right viewpoint on something, you would not know what to think of, what to think, what to say, and what to do. And from there, it goes downhill, right? So, right viewpoint. So, the most important part, we realize I am, not the body, not the emotional thoughts, I am a spiritual being of divine intelligence that can create thoughts. I'm a spiritual being of divine love that creates feelings. I'm a spiritual being of divine power to be able to utilize my will, my thoughts, my body to create right thoughts, right speech, and do the right thing, right action. So, by understanding this deeper teaching, then you realize all the religions in its purest form are teaching the same thing. And the Zoroastrian tradition in ancient Persia, they only have 3 rules. Good thoughts, good words, good actions. That's it. Because if you have right thoughts or good thoughts, when they say thoughts, by the way, you have to realize this in context. Thoughts, when you say somebody's thinking, it could be one of several components. Very seldom it's just purely thinking only, unless you're studying a particular subject, right? If I'm looking at A pen, okay, that's a pen. Whether I like it or not, it's a pen. But most of the time when you're dealing with people, when you're dealing with life, when you think of something, it's a combination of mental substance as well as emotional substance. So when it says right thoughts, it means right thinking or good thinking and good feelings. Now, because it doesn't make sense. You have right thinking of someone. Okay, this is a good person. And then you have extreme anger towards them at the same time. Usually it goes a certain way. This is a good person. So I kind of like that person. Or this person is a bad person, so I dislike them. So usually, of course, there are always exceptions. The thought pattern and the emotional pattern work hand in hand. So when they say good thoughts, or in the Buddhist tradition, right thoughts, that's a combination of mental and emotional material. Okay? So after we have right viewpoint, we realize, I'm a spiritual being occupying this body, learning lessons in this lifetime. Then from there, I should have good thoughts towards myself and others. Make sense? That's why the Buddha said, with our mind, we create our world. When he said mind, basically everything starts with the way we think. If you think incorrectly, you will feel incorrectly, which will cause you to say incorrectly, which will make you do dumb things. Simple as that. It starts with what? The thinking process. So it starts with good thoughts. And with good thoughts, the natural progression of that, assuming you really have good thoughts and feelings, would be good speech or good words. And if you combine good thoughts and good speech, then there's a higher probability your physical body will be utilized along that same theme. So good thoughts, good feelings leads to good speech, which leads to good actions. And of course, you realize good speech is moving your mouth and moving air. Make sense? So I was meditating on it and I go, So in the Zoroastrian tradition, they made it so simple. Good thoughts, good words, good actions. And then you have the Buddhist tradition. After right viewpoint, right thoughts, right words, right actions. You're talking about different parts of the world. And you dive deeper into the esoteric side, you see Buddhism, as we know it, has many branches, right? When the Buddha taught it, there's Mahayana, later on after he left, there's Mahayana, there's Hinayana, and there's Vajrayana. The three most popular, branches or traditions in Buddhism. So the Hinayana tradition, I'll just give you context. The word Hina means small or weaker. Actually, there was not one. The Mahayana Buddhists made it up. But just to kind of differeniate it, that's connected to Theravadan Buddhism, where they take the words of the Buddha literally. Very similar to fundamental Christianity, where they take the words of the Bible literally. When you go to a lawyer, they have this saying, the letter of the law and the spirit of the law. So Hinayana tradition or Theravadan tradition, they take it more like the letter of the law. The Mahayana tradition, Maha means great, the greater vehicle, deals with, or they look at more like the spirit of the law. Like, in addition to what's written, okay, what are the aspects of this that are beyond just the words and the sentences? Make sense? So what you call Zen Buddhism is actually coming from Mahayana tradition. Now, just to kind of give you a little bit of a overview, in general, there's always going to be exceptions. In general, the Theravadan tradition that are like in Burma, in Laos, in Cambodia, in Thailand, you see monks, they wear saffron robes. Their objective, at least in that tradition, the objective is the liberation of the self. Liberation of the soul from the attachments and the pain of the world. That's Hinayana tradition. The Mahayana tradition, Maha means great. Think about it. Hinayana means it's a small vehicle. Small vehicle, you can only carry so many people. Right? If you have a motorcycle, you can one or two people, or unless you're like in India and some parts of Asia where they carry like a whole family in it. But in general, Small vehicle, less people. Mahayana means great, right? Great vehicle, big vehicle. Well, instead of motorbike, you have a bus. You can carry more people. So the Mahayana tradition, the objective is the liberation of all beings. Does that make sense now? Small vehicle, one dude. Big vehicle, a whole village. So in spirituality, Mahayana tradition deals more with the liberation of all beings. That's where the word bodhisattva vow came through. Not the verb, the term. Bodhisattva vow, it says, I will not go into complete oneness with God or nirvana, whatever word you want to use, until every last being has gone ahead of me. So it's more of sacrificial love and inclusive at the same time. That's why it's Mahayana. Now the Vajrayana, it's an, let's just say, not really an offshoot, but it's a little bit of, for lack of a better word, I'll just use a branch of Mahayana tradition, almost, but not really. Started by a great teacher named Guru Padmasambhava, the teacher who brought Buddhism to Tibet. So Vajra means indestructible, Orga means diamond. So the Vajrayana tradition deals with energy. And so now you'll understand why the Vajrayana tradition deals more with meditation, where the visualized light going to the body, the chakras, the energy channels, and so on and so on. It deals with energy. So the mantra Om Ahum, Vajraguru Padma Siddhi Hum, I'm not going to go to the whole thing, just the first three syllables, Om Ahum, is, on the layman's terms, is purification of the body, the speech, and the mind. It's those three things again. Body is connected to what? Actions. Speech is speech, mind is thinking. So although one is Vajrayana Buddhism, the other one is traditional Buddhism, right, the Eightfold Path, you have the Zoroastrian tradition, which is from Persia, ancient Iran. The teachings are the same. Good thoughts, good speech, good actions. That's why oftentimes you see many Buddhists, they go like this, they go like this, they go like this, they go like that. Or they go like this, and like that. When they do that invocation, they say, right thoughts, I wish you good thoughts, I wish you good life, I will say the right thing, and I'll treat you right with compassion. So good thoughts, good words, good actions. It's the same. Now, if you think about it, if you have a person with absolutely no religious background, none, zero, never been exposed to any religion at all, as you work with them, as you interact with them, you notice this person always thinks positively, thinks good thoughts towards someone, right? And when they talk to you, they always say words kindly. They're very courteous. They're uplifting. And you look at their actions, they don't harm anyone. They're always very helpful. Anybody needs help, they're always there. And anything that they do, they try to do in such a way that is good for not only themselves, but other people. And they don't have a single religion. None, zero. How would you look at that person? Now compare it, just to contrast, you have someone who vows to, or says they're part of a whatever religion, we're not going to name any, but they're always complaining. They always think negatively about life, about the world, but they go to church, they go to temple, mosque, or whatever his religion is, and when they open their mouth, it's always criticizing someone, cursing someone, always complaining. And actions, although they go to some spiritual service, they steal, they take things that are not theirs, they hurt people, they destroy the environment, but they're religious. Now, between the two, who do you think is, quote-unquote, a godly person? Oh. The second one doesn't have a label. No label. The second one has a label, right? They belong to somebody. The first one has no label. They just think in a good way. They talk in a good way and they act in a good way. Who is a spiritual person? You see, this is my point. You do not have to belong to a certain religion to be a spiritual person. A spiritual person simply means you have a realization you and I are spiritual beings. The religion is the packaging. When I say packaging, these are the conglomeration of thoughts, feelings, ideas that we put together as the identity of who we are. So, Buddha was not a Buddhist. Jesus was not a Christian. They were teaching us spiritual principles to help us remember that we are spiritual beings. And as spiritual beings, if we realize that we're all spiritual beings, that means we're beings of energy and light, we're all interconnected, then I better have good thoughts towards you, because whether I like it or not, these thoughts that I'm having of you is affecting me because we're connected. When I say bad things about you or to you, I'm also saying to myself because we're connected. When I beat you up, I might not feel it right away, but in the long term, I will be affected by it. So a truly spiritual person, realizing that, oh, I'm a spiritual being, so is everybody, we're all interconnected, so I better treat everybody correctly because we're connected. Now, listen carefully. This interconnectedness, because we realize we're spiritual beings, is what you call oneness. And because of this oneness, that's why there's this thing called the law of karma, not yours or my opinion of karma. Karma simply means since we're connected, whatever I do to you is going to hit me back. So if I'm smart, I have right viewpoint, I will treat you right, because as I treat you right, I'm treating myself right. As I say good things to you, by the law of karma, I'm saying good things to myself. I said treat you well, I'm treating myself well. That's that. And of course, it cycles back. As I'm good to myself, I realize we're connected. There's a high probability I'll be good to you. Make sense? If I have good words and thoughts towards myself, high probability, since we're connected, it will come out of me and also be kind to you. That's why the Lord Jesus says, out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. So it's all interconnected. It's just for everyday people, you cannot go into so much detail. By the way, you're a spiritual being, blah, 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 we're connected. So that great teachers say, okay, since these people are not that smart, let's make it simple. Good thoughts, good words, good actions. Finish. That's that. Finish. And the ones who want to study more, they'll realize, this is very, very simple. Good thoughts, good word, good action. Why is that? Because there's the law of karma. We're all interconnected. And whatever I do to you, good will happen to me. So I better be good to you then. That's it. That's why I remember Master Choa, when he was teaching us one time, he goes, you see, in ancient times, they made it very simple. Good thoughts, good words, good actions. That's it. Everything is in it. Okay? By the way, some of you, I've noticed that you have the voice changes. I'm not trying to change my voice. I'm not trying to be a extraterrestrial thingy to scare you, to make you believe me. It's just that when we go to social media, they have what do you call this, AI, and sometimes when the topic I'm saying is not something they understand or whatever, sometimes they mute it or they change the tone or the tempo. I don't know why. That's why sometimes I get messages on it that says, some countries in the world do not allow whatever. So that's one of the reasons why when we have very important meditations like full moon or a lecture that's very critical for your spiritual well-being, we do not have it on social media. We have it on mastercode.org or panicking.com, online at mastercode.org. We separate it. Otherwise, as you go through social media, we don't know, by the time it gets to you, it might be something else. That's why. Because I noticed some of you complain, hey, how come it's not on Instagram or it's Facebook, and blah, 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 blah. That's why. So I apologize that sometimes you're hearing this change, my voice change. I'm not trying to be an alien. It's just social media. They try to control. They try to what do you call it? To censor and everything. And I'm sure you're going to hear two sides of. Some people say it's good. Some people say it's bad. That's not for our talk tonight, because we're here to spread the spiritual teachings and hopefully improve your life with it. And if it gets distorted, well, I can't do anything about it. But it'd be pretty stupid to say, hey, just because sometimes they censor it, I should not do it anymore because I could be reaching more people. Okay, so that's that. Anyway, so again, the teaching is quite simple. Good thoughts, good words, good actions. Now, the word good is the humanized term for God. I don't know if you know that. That's why you used to say, hey, God's morning be with you, or God's morning, or God's evening. And then, of course, people want to take God out of it, so they made it good morning. That's what, if I remember correctly. So good morning used to be God's morning. May God be with you. And it's interesting that in Spanish, when you say goodbye, oftentimes you say adios, right? So Dios means God. So the deeper meaning of it would be, okay, bye, God be with you. But then you got people who are so sensitive of the word God. What are you going to do with these people? You let them be. Right? And I know some of you are going to sit here, yeah, but I don't believe in God. Hey, I don't care what you think. We're not here to debate. We're here to share teachings with you. You don't like it, go find another teacher. Very simple. Sometimes people like drama. They go, but I don't believe that. Who cares what you believe? Who really does? I don't. I shared with you. You take what you can. What you don't like, that's not. Leave it. And that should be our attitude, because oftentimes, you know what we do? We try to please other people. Well, we know if we're not doing anything bad, they don't like it. Not my problem. Not my thought form. And tell me what's wrong by saying, hey, we should do good things and help people because we're all interconnected and we all come from a universal source called God. What's your problem? I know why. Most likely, you've met people who use God's name in vain and use God's name to hurt people. Okay, well, that doesn't mean that just because they misuse it, that means everybody's bad. Right? So a sign of an intelligent person is say, okay, that person misused the knife. It doesn't mean that all knives are bad. Knife can be used to kill someone. It can save someone who needs surgery. A knife can be used to cut your food so you don't break your teeth. Well, too much drama. Unnecessary. That's why people have problems. The key is right viewpoint. Right viewpoint. I don't know how many times I have to say it. Right viewpoint. If a person has a bad experience with religion or God because somebody shoved it down their throat, obviously at that time you were given the circumstances that made you had a wrong viewpoint or bad viewpoint. So what do? Change your viewpoint. Finished. That is what an intelligent person will do. And at some point, some of you, and I'll just throw this out there just for the fun of it, some of you go religion hopping. What is religion hopping? Oh, this few years I'm Catholic. Then I switch to Buddhist. Then I switch to Muslim. Then I switch to this. You keep religion hopping, thinking that religion will save you. Nope. It is your own spiritual yearning that will bring you into the light. That's why at some point you start to realize, I start noticing these religions are saying the same thing. That's why I remember Master, and I'll finish with this, okay? I remember Master used to say, spirituality unites. Religion has a tendency to divide. In other words, spirituality, you see the similarities. That's what I just did earlier. In Buddhist tradition, right thoughts, right words, right action. Zoroastrian tradition, good thoughts, good words, good actions. In the Vajrayana tradition, Om Ahung, purify my mind, my speech, and my actions. Mind, speech, action. So, Spirituality sees the similarities, what's common in all these different religions and traditions. Religion by itself has a tendency, not all, has a tendency to say, hey, I go to church on Sunday, you go to church on Saturday. I go to a mosque, you go to a temple. So religion has a tendency to do what? To see differences. And I hope what I try to do here is what the teacher has imparted in me, is to see that we're all spiritual beings having an earthly experience, regardless of what the packaging is. That's it. And of course, if we go deeper, then you also realize the physical body is a packaging. Whether male, female, whether your belief system is, or whether your body is Asian, Black, Hispanic, Middle Eastern, and so on, or Caucasian, that's the packaging. It's the being that occupies it that is the most important. And from there, once you realize that you are a spiritual being, the next thing is, how do you use the packaging? How do you use the body, the emotions, and thoughts to communicate with other people? That's where the ancient teachings come in. Good thoughts, good words, good actions. That's it. Teachings are very simple. So I hope that this was able to at least open your mind a little bit, because I know some of you are very fixated based on your comments. You're very fixated on how things are supposed to be done. So I'm not trying to change your mind. I'm just asking you to kind of at least open your mind, your emotions, your perspective, and take a look. Maybe we're all saying the same thing, just in a different language. But the language of the soul is truth. Okay, shall we? Let's meditate. Beware of your crown. I am that. I'm not the body. I'm not the emotion or the thoughts. I am the soul that uses the body, the emotions, and thoughts. I am a spiritual being of divine intelligence, divine love, divine power. I am that. That I am. I am connected in one to my higher soul. I am connected in one to the divine spirit, the divine spark in me. I am a child of God, meaning we're still growing and evolving. I am one with God. We come from a universal source, and we're all connected. I am one with God. I am one with all. There's only oneness. We are one. Now open your hands in blessing. We will do the great invocation, a powerful prayer to bring divine blessings of divine intelligence, divine love, divine willpower to every person, every being on earth. So imagine all of us are inside the sun, looking out into the solar system. We will focus on the planet Earth, collectively project a brilliant beam of light on the Earth. Let's chant Om 3 times. Om, Om, Om. From the point of light within the mind of God, let light stream forth into the minds of every person, every being. Let light descend throughout the entire earth. From the point of love within the heart of God, let love stream forth into the hearts of every person, every being. Let love descend throughout the entire earth. May the avatar of love return to earth. From the center where the will of God is known, let divine purpose guide the wills of every person, every being, the purpose which the holy masters and spiritual hierarchy know and serve. Let goodwill and the willingness to do good descend throughout the entire earth. So be it. Be still. From the center which we call the human race, let the plan of love and light work out. May it seal the door where any evil dwells. Let light, love, and power descend throughout the entire earth. Let light, love, and power restore and manifest the divine plan on earth. So be it. Now just be still and let the blessings keep flowing through us. You can focus on any particular country that needs blessing. From the point of light within the mind of God, let light stream forth into the minds of every person, every being. Let light descend on earth. From the point of love within the heart of God, let love stream forth into the hearts of every person, every being. Let love descend throughout the entire earth. May God's messenger of love return to earth. From the center where the will of God is known, let divine purpose guide the wills of every person, every being, the purpose which the Holy Masters and spiritual hierarchy know and serve. Let goodwill and the willingness to do good descend throughout the entire earth. So be it. From the center which we call the human race, let the plan of love and light work out. May it permanently seal the door where any evil dwells. Let light, love, and power descend throughout the entire earth. Let light, love, and power restore and manifest the divine plan on earth now. So be it. Just be still. Now imagine a brilliant light just floating above your head. Put your entire awareness in that brilliant light. You are that light. The third great invocation will be done for you. Just be receptive. Just look at that light. You are that light. From the point of light within the mind of God, let light stream forth into the minds of every person, every being. Let light descend on earth. From the point of love within the heart of God, let love stream forth into the hearts of every person, every being. Let love descend throughout the entire earth. May God's avatar of love return to earth. From the center where the will of God is known, let purpose guide the wills of every person, every being, the purpose which the Holy Masters know and serve. Let goodwill and the will to do good descend throughout the entire earth. So be it. Now just be still. From the center which we call the human race and all the other races, let the plan of love and light work out. May it seal the door where any evil dwells. Let light, love, and power descend throughout the entire earth. Let light, love, and power restore and manifest the divine plan on earth now. So be it. Just be still. Be still. Be aware of the vibration. Om. 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 Be still and just let the blessings flow through us. Gently put your hands down. Keep your eyes closed, keep your tongue in the roof of your mouth. Just leave your awareness in that brilliant light above your head. Om. Ahum. Be still. Om. Ahum. Be aware of the inner stillness, the inner peace, and just simply let go. Now. Just let go. Gently, slowly, Very gently and slowly come back to your physical body. Gently move your fingers, move your toes. Gently and slowly come back. Okay, let's give thanks to the Divine Supreme God, Divine Father, Mother. Thank you. To all the spiritual elders, holy masters, to all the saints of all traditions, archangels, holy angels, spiritual helpers, thank you. To my teacher, Master Chokok Sui Mahaguju, may thank you in full faith, and so it is. All right. I hope you had a good meditation. And you probably noticed that we added some special sauce there to give you some extra rocket fuel, so you experience more expansion. All right, so thank you very much for joining me, and we will resume the next great spacing out Anchored Light on Wednesday. Again, if you're just joining us, 10 a.m., 6 p.m. California time, and so this week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. However, after that, for the next 2 weeks, I won't be able to because I'll be in Bhutan with a lot of you who are joining us over there for the powerful experience there, the Buddhist Wesak. Wesak was last one, that's the astrological one. But for the Buddhist tradition, it's normally celebrated in May, which is also the third most powerful full moon of the year. All right, so we'll see you then, or if not, we'll be broadcasting for sure the third full moon. And I think that's it. All right. Namaste, everyone. We wish you much joy and happiness, and we'll see you on the next Anchor Light. God bless. Bye-bye.